Good morning, everybody. How are you feeling today? Today is another beautiful morning for us to get excited about life and do the things we want to do every day. So, yeah, it's that time of the day. Here you are. I am Tessa-Marie, and welcome to the Morning Blessings. It is 7:59. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Eastern Standard Time, and I am here. So how are you feeling today, Lisa? And good morning. I missed you yesterday. Were you baby catching? Yeah, it is. It is warm today. We're going to be 20. That's what they said. So that's, 20 for you guys. I don't know what it's Celsius. So that's hot. Yeah, so Lisa is number one this morning, the only one. Isn't that nice? I like that when I have a special person here today. I sure was. Sure you are. So hug and kiss for me. I will see you if they let us in. Your president said we need a a visa now. So if not, it will have to be high. So anyway, yes, so it is another beautiful morning. So the message for today is when you are winning, you keep your mouth shut. That's big. That's huge. Because so many times when people, hi Azim, how is life in India today? What's the temperature? It's March, it's hot. So, and hi Loretta, what's the temperature in Dominica today? Rain or heat? It's one or the other. Yeah, this statement is really powerful. Good morning, Jilly. How are you feeling this morning? When you're winning, keep your mouth shut. That's going to be difficult for many of us to do. When we're winning, to keep our mouth shut. When you're winning or when you're succeeding, you have to wait to make sure this thing is concrete. I remember, talking to a friend of mine a long time ago. And she was dating this guy, and she and her friend said, well, you should take him home. She said, are you kidding? This foundation isn't strong enough. My family will rock it. And we started laughing because she said, no, I want this thing to be solid before I show up at the door with this guy on my arm because they're going to shake it to the core. And it was great. So she was winning. She kept it silent. And we know that. We know when we are succeeding, or we are working to gain something, or we're doing something, and we're seeing the possibility that it's going to come the way we want it to be, desire it. That's our plan, and it's working. We have a plan. And then all of a sudden, we cannot wait. We are bursting from inside out with so much that we want to say to everybody, hey, we're doing this, and I'm winning. And you have to have a tough skin to be able to show up and tell people we always know though. We always have that inclination that they're not with us. But we have a need to please. And because, hi Dawn, good morning. How are you feeling this morning? Because we have a need to please, sometimes we forget. These are not the people we should share our dream goals and desire and our small wins. So when you are winning, keep your mouth shut. So you might say, well, I am not winning. But if you are working on a plan and you're taking small positive steps and you're seeing the cloud is clearing out, things are happening, there's a possibility it will work. The minute you come to that conclusion, you have to decide to keep your mouth shut. I instill this in my children really deeply. I push it. Hi, Nancy. Good morning. How are you feeling today? I stuck it in their craw, whatever you call it. And I said, listen, you don't say anything when it's in progress. You let it mature. You let it happen before you start blabbing that you are winning, that you are doing this. And many times we forget because we believe because we would love it for everyone is going to love it for us. And it's not that they can take it away, but they can cast doubts. They can tell you, I know of people who did it and won, and I know of people who did it and they got really good at it. But they failed. And you know, there's so many people besides you doing this. Sorry, I didn't have my lights on this morning. I don't know what was wrong with me. I was up early and I took my time though. I think I was just breathing in. I went outside and it was hot. So it was hot, really. But it was amazing to be in the garden and no snow. It was so nice. Lots of snow again. Oh, you got snow in Wisconsin. Oh, that's just too much. It's time that that thing goes away. So we have none. It's all melted. My Christmas decorations are still out there because it was so much snow. So I have to call Irene to help me take it off. Or help get Irene to do it because I will not do it. Anyway, the thing of it is that we forget that when we are in the position of succeeding, that is not the time we run to others and tell them our dream, goals, and desires and all the things that we are going to do. That's not the time. But for some reason, we think it's okay to do that. And as I said, they'll tell you, don't do it. You shouldn't. And you remember when I wrote my first book, Controlling the Death Monster, my manager said to me, do you know how many of these books that are out there? So can you imagine I didn't do it? I would be sitting, like Willie Nelson said, with regret etched on my brow, and I couldn't have gone back and do it then. And now I could do nothing about it now. Hi, Yuko, good morning. So that is why the reason is when we have something to do and when we are winning is in the process of doing it. Because to get to a destination, you have to start the journey. Every step towards that is a winning step. And if on your way to winning, somebody happens to stop you and say, listen, don't do that. Don't go any further. It's dangerous there. You're going too fast. You're doing things you shouldn't do. You should relax. You retire, sit and do nothing, or do what pleases them. If we do that, guess what? We will not get on our journey. So if we are on that journey, we should really be silent. Because when we are doing something, we keep our mouth shut. That person that you're telling it to, can they help you get where you desire to be? Analyze it. Weigh it. Consider the options you have before you speak to that person. If it's someone you already know that does not believe that anybody is capable because they are not capable, why tell them those things? Why bring it up to them? Why waste your time? Because every time we do that, we are allowing them to take possession of our destination. Like when you give the GPS the destination, if you give it the right destination, it take you there. If you mess up, you won't get there. They are like a faulty GPS. They do not have it in them anyway. They do not have a success button in them anyway. They have never tried. They have never pushed forward. They have never got up and decided today is the day. This is it. I'm stepping out. I'm taking a chance. For some reason, though, the people they plant the most seeds of doubt in are always females. They always plant the seeds of doubt in us. And when they plant that seeds of doubt, if we take it, because we seem to be able to absorb a lot, that's just our makeup as a female. We take a lot. We endure a lot. I always said if men had to have children, there would be one on every street, and that would be all, because they would come home and tell all the other men, do not do this thing, it's too challenging. But a woman will say, you'll get over it, you'll get through it, you'll never forget, you'll never remember the pain, which is true. But if you go to that person who represents that you cannot do it because they know they cannot do it, or they are the one that tried, you're telling them you're winning, you're showing them your progress, they will tell you it's still not good enough. They know of someone who did it faster and better than you. But they themselves, the question is, you have to ask them, and what about you? So when you're raising the balloon and you're saying, this is me up here, and a friend is telling you, I know somebody who set the balloon yesterday and it went higher than yours. That is defeating, especially if you're excited. So that's why when you're winning, you keep your mouth shut. When you are progressing, you keep your mouth shut. The thing is, do not tell me, just show me. Watch me. Do not, when they find out, they're still going to, my friend Althea, who passed away, said to me once, when they're going to flush you out, they're going to sick you, and if they suspect you're in that hole, they're going to fill the hole with water to flush you out so they can take you apart. And that's why you keep what you're doing to yourself. You keep what you're doing to the person in the mirror. And better still, you write about it in your journal. You put the good, the bad, and the ugly in your journal. When you're winning and you're telling somebody you're winning, they will listen, and some of them will hear you, or some of them will tell you that they know or they themselves have done it. Sometimes it's a bad situation that you're talking about. Have you noticed that? And a friend will say, well, yeah, I know you think I experienced it myself. I had the experience yesterday when I was talking about my dad, and somebody made a comment. But that is not the right time to say you also had the experience. Let that person have their moment. So when somebody comes to you and they're saying, this happened, this woman that paid homage to my dad on Saturday, and I talked about it. I don't know her. I just had a little inclination of the family. None of us really know them. And when I stated that, somebody said the same thing happened. That is not the time. Let that person have their time in the sun. Choose another time. Word it differently. Do not say your dad had the same experience or he did the same thing. So you see, there's two sides to that coin, right? So that's why you have to be careful. People don't think, because we were never taught to think of the effects of our words. We do not understand it. And when we say something, it's a little bit of etiquette to look at a situation and do not align it to your. Hi, Roslyn. Good morning. How are you feeling today? And this is one of the things we have to learn to do. That we need to make sure when we have a success story, be careful, be discerning. Take your time and split it open and figure out who can I share it with. And hi, Colin, good morning. How are you feeling this morning? And are these people going to help me? And on the other hand, you are the one receiving the joyous news from your friend, your family, somebody you know. And do not put a damper on it. Do not do that. Make sure that you help them celebrate their winnings, because they did not have the wisdom or the information taught to them to tell them that they should reserve talking about it while they're in the process of doing it. But there you are the one receiving it. And that's the time you have to call on your wisdom. And that's the time you have to look at that person or hear the cadence in their voice, the dance in their voice, the inflection in their voice, and stop and think, what can I say to enhance that? Yesterday, when I did the financial thing at 1 p.m., I was talking to Colleen, and she said, how did it go? And I said it was fabulous. A few of you came. I had it on I was streaming on 3 different devices. So I had TikTok, I had YouTube, and I had Instagram. And you guys were so supportive, flipping from Yukon Dawn and somebody else, flipping from Instagram to YouTube and Soulmate and all of these wonderful, amazing. Nancy dropped in people. And Colin's answer to me when I said, when she said, all you have to reach is one person. Just think of that. So, was that winning? I was telling her I was pleased with the result. TikTok told me I had 73% higher than people with the same amount of followers when they do a live show. So the same amount of followers, I was 73% above them. That was great to hear. I didn't tell that to Colleen. I said it was great. I loved it. I love it anyway. When I talk about money, I'm in my element. So, and she said, you only have to reach one person. She didn't know that I was feeling one way about it because I am not that kind of person. I don't care. I just do it because I choose to do it. And I have a choice. So what we have to do is remember, be a calling in your next friend's life. Do not tell them you did it and you had it. Do not tell them that somebody else did it. Tell them, great, you touched one person today. You do not know who that person knows. I told you guys stories already about that kind of link in real life. I told you that. Toby is one of my dad's people work with. He got cement from a small company. My dad needed hundreds and hundreds of bags of cement, couldn't get it. And he said to my dad, if that man has treated me the way he treated me to bring only 3 or 4 bags of cement to my house so I can build a step, and he drove it there, why don't you go see if you can order cement from him and you wouldn't have a problem like you're having with your own family, brothers' businesses and uncles' businesses? And my dad went. And he made that man extremely rich because he was buying hundreds and thousands of bags of cement because he was building churches, schools, whatever. But if that man had not treated Toby nicely, Toby could not have gone and tell my dad about it. So we have to remember, there's so many ways that when somebody is winning, you celebrate them. And there's so many ways when you're winning, you shut up. And when somebody is doing it and their aim is to win, you support them. We do that with our children. I did it with mine. I didn't even care. You're the best. You're better than all the rest. You can do it. Don't tell me you can't do it. Get on with it. Figure it out. But my friend Donato, his father told him he wasn't good enough. He prevented 3 or 4 pucks from getting into the hockey net. And his team still won. But his father talked to him about his lack of professionally letting those 3 win in. But all of the other 10, 15 that he kicked out didn't matter. And that's a grown man. I didn't know him as a child. I met him 6 years ago on the Instagram, and he told me this story. And I could hear his pain. And I could feel his pain. Because he was winning. And his father told him, you still weren't good enough because you did this. And I came number 3 out of 43. And I had the audacity to tell my father when he said, how come there's 2 people ahead of you? I said, they did better than me. He let me have it. Nobody is better than you. All they did is they applied themselves better than you. So you see, so do not ever say that again. So that thing about it, our words, I had an experience yesterday with Dawn, talking to Dawn. And that is again another one. I knew someone that was like that. You see, Nancy's saying she knew someone like that. Sometimes, like I told you guys yesterday, that my my lingam from the Caribbean Sea absorbs water. I showed you what it did. It's still there, absorbing the water into the stone. And that tells me they're both connecting. The water in the glass and the stone, they're not touching each other. But the stone is pulling the water to them, to it. That one thing that's shaped like an egg is pulling the water to it, naturally formed. In the Hindu religion, they have an actual stone that is shaped like that they rub and they hold in the hand. And it's pulling the energy. And when I tell you that our words have power, when we keep somebody down, we're keeping ourselves down. When we keep our other person down, we're keeping our children down, because it's all legacy. Watch what you say. Not too long ago, somebody said to a young man, somebody maybe 20 years younger than them, because they were angry, and they told that person, "I hope you choke." And today, their son is extremely sick. Is it important that we keep our nasty thoughts to ourselves, or we go clean our throats out of it, gag it out, drink water and spit it out? Because it comes back to haunt us. So the devilish, so Donato does not have a good relationship with his dad because of that. And he said that. But Colin gave me something to hold on to. You have one. You're able to affect one. And by my family, and it's still like that with them. You see, I read what you're saying, Ambrose, and you've said it before, that you were told you weren't good enough. But you see, somebody cannot give you bread with butter on it if they only had bread. So asking, when somebody tells you you're not good enough, you have to remember that in Donato's case, I said, well, that's what he was taught, right? That's what his father did to him. You don't know nothing. You're stupid. Go sit down. And so he did the same thing to his son. So he couldn't put butter on the bread. He could only serve the bread without anything on it. Here's your bread. Eat it. That's how it is. Get over it. Figure it out. You're hopeless. You didn't do it well. You failed. But you have to see the positive in something. And that makes him, he's so intense. He has to keep going and fighting. He doesn't understand. To relax in the moment, to win the moment. To relax in the moment, to capture the moment. Because he was not told that. Some people cannot sit by themselves. They have to have people with them all the time, because they were never taught to be you. They had to have people speaking to them. You see, and look at what she said, it's trickled down. Everybody, you can only feed others from the same plate you were fed. You cannot do that. Anything else. And sometimes that is why even when that person hurts us, we have to have compassion for them. Because my mom used to say, consider where it's coming from. They didn't have somebody to lift them up. They didn't have somebody to hold their hand and say no. And sometimes because you were raised in the same area as someone, everybody thinks you got the same type of training, and it's not. When those doors are closed, we do not know what happened in these houses that people live in. We do not know the trauma. The man that beats his wife, the woman that kicks and curses and angry and just full of so much anger, or will not greet another person, or say hello, because when they did it before, people tell them, what are you saying hello about for? Did these people? Don't talk to people. Keep it to yourself. And COVID just taught us how to do it better. It just came along and said, oh, good humans, you guys are funny. Stay away from each other. It's better for you. It's not. It's not. And my message to you guys, today is the first day of spring, and it was warm in Toronto. I went out this morning and it was 7 degrees Celsius. And I suddenly started to smile. There was no snow on the patio, no snow in the pergola, no snow on the grass. Of course, there were weeds, not weeds, and leaves and all that. And this moon was just going to be covered by the clouds, and I felt it. I started laughing by myself. As soon as I came out and I realized the moon is there, look at that, and no snow, I started laughing. Because that's what I saw. And it just tells me that we know what it is to be locked down. So this summer, this year, enjoy it. Find ways and means to enjoy it. Invite somebody over just because you can. Do that. Serve a meal. Be nice. Because it looks like we will win this year, in this summer. You cannot change the rest of the world or what's happening, all that nonsense that's going on. We can't stop it. But we can learn to live within it. So we invite a friend for a meal. It's not going to keep you back 100 places. Do something. Share your winnings in the physical ones. And the ones you're working on, hold them tight until you can show them. And choose, even then, make sure you go to the person that will say, that's a good job. There's always going to be critics. And there's always going to be, you're not good enough. And there's always going to be, you know that too, don't you? I know. I'm not the best at this, but I love doing it. And because I love doing it, I'll do it. I am not doing the best for you or from your point of the best. I'm giving the best that I have in me to give. And that's what matters. We need to learn to give the best of ourselves. Whether that person is telling you their success, or you have an opportunity to say, come over for dinner, Sister Tessa, I have fried fish for dinner. Oh yeah, I would love to, but I can't. Don't tell Michael he loved that fish. So don't take the time off from telling somebody you did good. And when the person comes to tell you they are doing this because they don't know, they should keep it away from you because you're a biter, you're a viper, you're going to tear it apart. Hey, get some wisdom and just sing. Do not compare what they're saying to you. It's not about you. And get some wisdom and say, you know what? I know you can do this. You know, you love doing it. It keeps you happy. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Wherever you're going to land is better than where you are. Remember that. So guys, I have to remind you guys about next Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? The 25th at 1 to 2:30 is the Angel free, no charge, Angel Seminar. So I will send out the email today again with your workbook, and also I want you to come with 3 questions. Yes, Colin, 3 questions you will ask me. Send them to me. I will answer the questions. If I will not put your name to it, I'll just say this is the questions I had. So I will answer those questions. Then, those of you that have never gotten Zoom on your iPads or on those things, the link I sent you is for Zoom. So Colin, get the grandchildren to show you how to do this. So go to download the Zoom app and make sure it works. And if you guys want to practice before Tuesday, as a matter of fact, you know what I'll do? I'll give everybody an opportunity. This is what I'm going to do. So today's Thursday. So what about if I have a Zoom? I take the same link that you have. I have it. I'll go in, I'll send a message, and I'll say at this time on Monday. So that means you have until Monday to do this. I could say Sunday, Monday, and I will go on live on the Zoom, and you click the link, and then I will admit you, just to make sure that your stuff is working. I do not want you to want to do this and then you don't have Zoom downloaded to your iPad or your laptop, to be honest with you, Zoom does not really work too good on an iPhone. It will work, but it might drop. So to avoid that, I'll send that in the email that I'll send out today, and the attachment to download your workbook, and to remind you to also send the 3 questions that you will have. So it's 90 minutes to find your angel, or to learn how to really make it work, because some people are giving the angel instructions of what they want, and that's not how it works. If you could solve it and you know how it works, then you wouldn't need the angels, would you? So there's a lot to learn. So let's see if we can get that. And on Sunday at 1, I'm doing another financial stuff. So that is where we are. So anyway, guys, let me say goodbye to you. Nancy, no, Loretta, Roslyn, Nancy, Lisa, and Dawn. So it would be a lot of fun to do what we are going to do. So how are you guys feeling today? It's a nice day. And what else I have to say? Nothing else. But when you are winning, keep your mouth shut. When somebody comes to tell you they're winning, give them a little bit of encouragement. Do not take it back. So you have to always realize that sometimes you need to use your wisdom to answer, rather than be Donato's father or Rosalind, what they said to Rosalind, that you're never good enough. So have a wonderful day and take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys on the other side of time. So tomorrow, I forgot, today's Thursday. I am on YouTube at 12 p.m. on Thursday. And so see you guys this afternoon, those of you who can make it. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.